ALAIKBAR KALOLWALA. I'm the Senior HR Business Partner at Emerson Process Management India Private Limited. I have my colleagues Preeti and my manager, that's the Chitra Chabra, who's the HR Director, the India leader for human resources, who's joined us, okay, for this session. So before we'll start off, so Chitra, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Preeti Bhatia. I am in three-part job, and let me just quickly run through. So I do business partnering for one of the business units within Emerson. Emerson is a large organization, and you'll hear from us what we do and what we are good at. I also lead the learning and development initiatives across the country, along with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've been speaking a lot about it, hearing a lot about it. We also have a little bit to share from our side. So look forward to what we have in store for you. And I'll pass it on to Chitra.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning, and it was so nice to hear the panelists' lovely conversations around the DNI. And with this, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Chitra, and I head the HR for Emerson in India. We are over 7,500 employees across the country, based at various regions. And this slide deck would give you an overall perspective about the best practices that we implement, and with a small focus on how we contribute to the business and the diversity, equity initiatives that we drive in our organizations. Well, most of them have been spoken about, which is why the morning is equally interesting, but then we will also like to focus on our bit to what we do. So without taking much time, I'd like to start. All right. So, before we go on to our best practices, I would like to talk about the HR strategy and the framework that we actually follow. Across Emerson, our people strategy is around recruiting, retaining, developing, and engaging talent, which generally is done by our teams across the country. We are a group of talent acquisition teams. These are our center of excellences. We have talent acquisition center of excellence. We have HR operations dealing with the HRIS and the payroll and the benefits piece. Then we have learning and development. Preeti is leading the learning and development initiatives. And then we have a team of individuals who contribute to the learning and development initiatives throughout the organization. Then definitely business partnering. The most unique and the common feature also that we have is our business partnering across different businesses, working with these center of excellences to really drive that business sense in the organization. And then the governance around everything we do. It is very important to have a compliance and a governance mechanism around our processes, policies. So this is how the HR structure is organized, and this is the framework in which we all operate in. And before we talk about the best practices, I thought it will be really, it will be good to know how we as an organization operate across the country. Now, focusing on our best practices, we'll start with our talent management best practices, and the first area is the acquisition piece. We do everything in acquisition, but the 4 practices I wanted to talk about, which we qualify as our best practice, is that we launched our emergence program. Now, like I said, being a conglomerate of 7,500 employees, it is important that we have a common entrance program, right? When we hire our Gen Z population, when we hire the graduate engineer or the management trainees, we all follow a common process. And that is where emergence comes in, which is a one Emerson approach to various campuses around the country. We all follow one approach. We all talk about one Emerson. We hire for one Emerson, and that is why we would like to focus on this program, because it gives us a sense of oneness across the organization. Re-engage program, we also feel that retention is the new hiring strategy these days, and it is important that people who leave us, we do whatever we can to hire them back, because this is where our talent lies, this is where our strength lies, and we would not want to lose our individuals if we can hire them back. So that is another strategy. We all spoke about diversity in the morning, and one thing that I only want to focus on here is a diverse slate, right? So what we say is, no matter we are able to hire a woman or not, let's have a slate, let's have equal representation on the panel, right? When we're talking about the first round of interviews, we ensure that we try and ensure, I would not say we ensure, but what we have done is we have mandated diverse slates for managers and above, without exceptions. If we take exceptions, we take special approvals for those exceptions, because we still feel that there is so much to offer in the market, and if we do not give opportunities, we'll never be able to hire. And that is our intentional effort to drive this particular piece in the organization. And gender neutral job descriptions, very, very important, because we have a tool that manages the way we write our job descriptions. Some job descriptions that we read are very male-oriented or very female-oriented. We want to be neutral because we want to attract neutral talent to the organization. And that is where we would want to say that these are our good practices that we follow in talent acquisition piece. And moving in the talent management area, I would like to invite my colleague Preeti. So these are some glimpses of our campus visits that we did. So now over to Preeti for talking about talent development interventions and the framework that we have.
Thank you, Chitra. Continuing from the talent management best practices, acquisition is what Chitra covered. I'll touch upon a little bit around our, primarily it's learning and development initiatives, but we call it talent development because we kind of provide or create a platform and an array of opportunities for people. Now, development is not just per se going into a workshop, attending a 2-day, 3-day workshop, and you feel you got the great opportunity or a great perk to attend a training, and that's a traditional way when people like to go in a training room and they're like, oh wow, I was nominated and I'm in this wonderful training. That's not what we limit our training or we limit our development initiatives. Our development initiatives are lateral, vertical, cross functional, cross businesses, because we as an organization are fairly complex. We are a complex matrix organization, and we are more like a culmination of a lot of businesses that have been acquired over years together. Lot of consolidation and harmonization of practices, policies, but the DNA still remains unchanged for years together, and it takes a whole lot of effort and zeal and energy from the HR folks particularly to bring everybody in the one Emerson framework. And one such opportunity is development opportunities. And when people come on a common platform and when they see that there is some sort of a synergy, some sort of a practice, a standard objective practice of evaluating, selecting, nominating people for these programs or these opportunities, such as, I'll talk about individual development plan. We don't focus now, 7,500 employees, we cannot afford, or we as a small HR team cannot do individual development plans or future growth plans for every single individual. So we focus on our high potential talent because they are the ones we definitely don't want to lose. So we make sure as an HR team, we do give that dedicated effort to make sure there is a retention mechanism, there is a development mechanism, and then there is more out of what our talent can provide. Give them the opportunity and put a meticulous plan for them. Internal mobility, such a large organization, so much to offer, so much to explore, so much to learn. It's only about people who are high potential, who are raising hands, they get the opportunity. We say, and we strongly believe and say that if you can find any job outside Emerson, you will find within Emerson too. So explore Emerson first before you venture out. And that's why today we are proud to say our attrition is at its lowest compared to our industry peers. Leadership development, we kind of excel at that today. A little while ago, there was a saying, and it was in papers once, that if you don't know how to develop leaders, learn from Emerson. And if you do not have leaders, take them from Emerson. So that's how proud we are with respect to efforts and the drive and very, very focused initiatives that we drive to develop the leadership competencies amongst our talented folks or who are ready to kind of move on to the next career. So what we offer in Emerson is not a job, we offer careers. So career means, and at any given point in time, come to Emerson, ask people how long have you been, and they will say 15 years, 20 years, and that's a norm. In Emerson, that's a norm. So 15, 20 years, Emerson is home for people, or second home as we would like to call it. So, and challenging and impactful assignments, as I earlier said, development or progression is not always vertical. It can be broad and horizontal and diversification. So challenging and impactful assignments, we are constantly, I mean, in Emerson, we are never short of work and short of challenges. So you ask for it, you get it. That's what we do. I mean, if you want to raise your hand, if you want to stretch, if you want to become really, you want to test your potential to the max, Emerson is the place to be, because there is no shortage of challenging projects, assignments, or initiatives. Raise your hand and you get it. And opportunity to develop new skills, that's what we are constantly, evolving and seeing what's out there and what do our workforce requires today to handle the issues of tomorrow or problems of tomorrow. So we are constantly evolving, so are our people, and that's how kind of, is the journey so far. This one program, I'd like to spend a few minutes here to talk about our next gen program. It is a flagship program. We're very proud of this program. This program is basically experiential learning opportunity. People, again, this is an opportunity open to everybody. Whoever would like to raise their hand and would like to, this is a stretch assignment, by the way. So people, so how we kind of develop this, let me just quickly run you through what we actually do in here. So all the leaders put together, they will come and they will brainstorm on a few topics which are critical to the business today and tomorrow. Those topics will be converted into projects. And the communication will be rolled out to all the employees. People who are interested and who really want to kind of raise the bar or want to kind of open up their potential and work on something other than their day job, other than their domain expertise. They want to step into something and do something which they've never done before. This is the opportunity for them. They raise their hand, they go through the selection process. It's a very objective, meticulously drafted, done process. People get selected, they become part of a team. The team is a cross-functional team as a result, has a team leader, has a team sponsor, and this team works together on a DMAC approach, which is define, measure, analyze, implement, and control. And for a 12 months together, they work on a project, they come up with solutions, those are implemented, piloted, and business benefits, people benefit, they get the experiential learning, they get the collaboration, they get the networking, and business gets a lot of highly valuable ideas and innovative solutions from people themselves. And people get the opportunity to step up because they've not done all of this before. Had this opportunity not been, they would have never got the opportunity to do anything outside their domain expertise. So this is one of our flagship programs, and we're very proud of this. Just some of our happy faces from our people who've been participants of some of these initiatives and have been enjoying their journey and experience of their continuous development within the organization. There are more, these are just a few. And with that, I pass on to Ali.
Thanks, Preeti.
You want to?
So thank you. Yes. So we spoke about talent management, talent development. Yes, more important is about engagement and retention. So engagement for me is just not doing sessions or programs, but is primarily for hearing, right? Listening to employees. It's a very important piece, okay, which is part of engagement, which we do at Emerson. Leadership talk series. This is one of our very important series talks, okay, where employees, okay, connect with leaders across the country. We have sessions which are there, okay. These sessions cover majority career development conversations. Then we have know your business, because sometimes, right, I belong to a business, I might not know the business. So it's important to discover other businesses. But Emerson is an ocean, right, okay. It has multi-businesses across India itself, okay, and across the other geographies around the world. So that's very important to know the business. And yes, we focus on managing unconscious bias, because a organization, okay, which this piece being biased can be very harmful. Hence, in these sessions, okay, we do cover a lot on managing unconscious bias sessions. Next is the very important, okay, the She series. It's nothing but, okay, we share, right, we hear and empower. So it's important to share, and this is primarily for women employees. We do we have successfully done sessions across the country covering majority of our women employees as well as our people managers. So share, we hear, and we empower. So it's a two-part interactive sessions which are usually done, okay, with women employees and managers, and the intent is to hear, right, okay, know from them, listen to them, right, okay, and have those areas, okay, and work on those areas and get those implemented. So a few sessions like which we are done in Mumbai, right, there were actions for me as an HR business partner. We've got those implemented, and we do actually receive the feedback later from the employees and people managers. Yeah, thank you for doing that, okay, because that was really important and very necessary for the business to perform and for us to be more productive. Moving forward, yes, to workplace learning engagement, we have a lot of sessions. Preeti spoke about a next gen program. That's a flagship program. So we do, that's a wonderful program which we cover, right? It's going on for 5 years. We'll be starting the 6th year very soon about it. Next is your employee connect sessions with site HR. We have two big sites in the country, the manufacturing hubs of us, okay, and we do connect employees out there as well as in the regional offices and the sales organization where I take care of businesses on those. So connect with the HR, okay, HR being available, okay, is a very key important, right, okay, and across the employee, whether it, I mean, I have employees been telling us, right, okay, that thank you for being there, available 24 by 7 on a face of call, okay, because it's really important because our employees, they actually travel length and breadth across the country, especially to areas which are quite remote and customers which are actually in areas, okay, where even network is very, very weak and poor. So you have to be available whether they get online connectivity on Microsoft Teams and they reach out to us. So phones are not available, the internet is available at the plant, right? And they reach out through us to that. Okay, so it's like a 24 by 7 connectivity which HR provides, okay, to employees out there. So it's very important on those lines. Quarterly town halls, yes, we do believe in our leadership talking, okay, doing all hands meet. We do a lot of discussions, a lot of business insights, okay, updates are provided to employees. We do a lot of recognition during this quarterly town halls, which you can see from here, okay, and there's a lot of feedback also shared by the employees during these town halls, right? These all hand meetings on quarterly basis are one of the areas where each and every employee, right from the management, right, okay, to the downward strata of the organization, is knowing what's happening in the business and is updated about it. So that's very important from Emerson perspective. Last and not the least, yes, we do have a lot of culture events. One a very important event which we do have is Family Day. Being a manufacturing organization, people do not know what we do. So we invite family, right? We invite kids, right, of the family, of the employees, okay, to know what their parents, mother and father are actually doing at Emerson, actually looking at the manufacturing side. How does production happen? What is that important product which his mother or father is making and selling, right, in the market, and how it is being used in the society and where it is being implemented. So we do such family events, okay, visit to our offices, visit to factories, and we have other cultural events. A few glimpses from those, right, okay, across the country which you've done in last year. And with that, I'll hand over to Chitra.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you, Preeti. Uh, so, the most important slide, other than what we do, is how we really work with our businesses, how we really transform businesses, right? As Ali and Preeti also mentioned, that we are a manufacturing organization having different factories, sales offices, engineering centers across the country, and that is how we are scattered and that is how we are diverse. But what do we do to bring all of this together is something that is the real value that we draw in the business. So what we are saying here is, what we have recently, very recently we've done is we have consolidated our factories. Now, it is not easy to consolidate factories because these are rooftop consolidations, people moving around, different policies which is impacting their movement. Definitely these teams have to work together. So what we have done is we have integrated multiple businesses at one site. Now, having a multi-BU structure at a site, it is important that we come very strong in terms of collaboration, because different businesses at one site cannot operate differently. It has to be one site, one structure. And that is why the structure is very important. Our effective partnering is very important from this transition, managing this entire transition as to how do we ensure the employees feel settled in the new location is very important. And then governance, and then leveraging the IR and the legal teams together, because it's a factory movement. It is our hourly employees moving around. So how do we ensure that they feel settled at this new place and the new organization? So the structure that we follow and implement is a very important piece of this entire puzzle. Then the talent, how do we manage our talents? Obviously, we don't want to lose them. As Preeti mentioned, we have different flagship programs running around the country, but we still lose talent, but what we do not want to do is to lose them. So what do we do to keep them together? Is different collaboration across the sites, owning accountability and giving them challenging assignments, enabling lateral roles for them, and developing a succession funnel, because it is important. No matter what we do, sometimes we still manage to lose people, but then if we have a strong succession built, if we give them opportunities in the same organization, they feel settled and they feel a part of the larger organization. Talking about the processes and the policies, the most important piece is aligning our benefits around as one Emerson philosophy, because they are a part of one Emerson. They would not know why the other person is behaving like this and why am I not getting this benefit. So aligning all of this together is a big job and a big task, and then we all get together to really deal with this change. Automating the processes, harmonizing policies, introducing new policies is also very important, because sometimes the need of the hour is very different. We may not have it today, but we still want to go be there tomorrow. So what we do to introduce new policies so that people feel that this organization is also thinking laterally and wanting to move ahead in the journey. And then the culture piece. Without culture, we can't engage people without having the right culture in the organization. So create a culture of trust with focus on all kinds of interventions to do with diversity, equity, inclusion, inclusiveness, drive learning culture. Like Preeti spoke about a culture, we do a country level development program, but we also have site level development programs, because at country we cannot focus on everybody, but at site we still can focus on everybody. And then listening and dealing with their improvement plans, and an improved retention through various engagement initiatives that Ali just spoke about. So all of this put together is how we really drive our transformation with our businesses, and that is what we are proud to show today. And the last slide that I want to focus on is our diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility initiatives. I think the entire country is convinced with this one initiative, and we all are talking about this because we feel is the need of the hour, and we still need to do more in this area. Whatever we do is less. And today, when we started on this journey 3 years back, we were at 16%, and today we are at 23.5% diversity. And we are not stopping here. We are not saying we've done well enough, but we still need to do more. We have our targets assigned as per what we really need to do. Our leadership team is fully committed, focused. We still have those unconscious biases, and the entire discussion that we had this morning from the panels. We all go through the same problems. But I think our intention of dealing with the problems, coming up with the change, and then implementing that change is really important. And that is where the intention lies with our organization. So like I said, 3 years back, we were at a state wherein we did not know what to do. Being a large country, what we did was divided our entire presence into 4 clusters, where we have cluster leaders and the HR leaders supporting the clusters. So we do have a quarterly council. Preeti is our D&I lead. And what we do is we come together every quarter. We talk about what initiatives are we trying to drive in that particular cluster, because every cluster may have a unique need. We may not have common interventions across every cluster. So whatever is the need in that cluster is something that we really focus on, and we deal with that together. We talk about our matrices, we talk about our interventions, we talk about our highlights and lowlights, because this is that place where we can help each other and be together on that platform. And then, the initiatives, and then the progress is measured. And these are a few initiatives. We have had diversity initiatives like fireside chats, diversity slates, diversity across the organization, from the shop floor to the top floor, where we can make differences, where are the gaps, how we can manage and address those gaps. All that platform comes together in those meetings, and these are very detailed interventions. Then we talk about equity initiatives. We did speak about equity in the panel discussion just a few minutes back. But we do have various initiatives to drive equity so that we feel included, we feel a part of the larger organization. And accessibility, by having crutch, by having mother room, by having different ways of walking in the organization. There are different ways by which we are trying to tackle this problem. We are not doing everything, but we're trying to do the best we can at this point in our, and I would like to thank the teams here, Preeti, Ali, who are supporting me, and with the larger HR team together, I think we're able to drive these initiatives well. And I would want to end with a video I would want all of you to see, and I did not talk about that video here, which I would highlight, is how we, as an organization, we're talking about women leaders, what we all do. This is our D&I video, and we post very frequently on LinkedIn, different videos, what people on the shop floor feel as women employees, what leaders feel as being women leaders, what our engineering centers feel as women leaders in the engineering centers. We have captured that all, and we would like to play that video in the end. And this is available on LinkedIn, but we still wanted to play it here. My career journey with Emerson has been profoundly enriching, rewarding, but with a fair share of challenges. Emerson, as an organization, provides you with an ecosystem which is diverse, inclusive, equitable.
Emerson has constantly pushed all of us to reach out for challenges, push our limits, and test ourselves. It has been a fantastic ride in Emerson, and I'm here for the long haul.
As a newly appointed finance leader for Emerson in India, what has kept me going is the willingness to embrace and resolve the challenges.
All it takes is the agility to work hard, assuming a positive intent, thirst for continuous learning, and above all, humility.
Passion for my work, thirst to continuously learn new things, and strive my best to excel in challenging situations have been the driving forces of my career. Proud to be part of Emerson.
It is, by the inherent nature, they are being more inclusive, more empathetic, more creative, and more solution-oriented. They bring in a different kind of energy, passion, and collaboration among the teams, kind of igniting them to outperform. So I think they can really accelerate the cultural change in any organization and realize the highest potential from diverse teams.
Emerson empowers both men and women to bring a sustainable change with a shared leadership and inclusive approach.
What it really takes is to have learning agility, persistence, the right attitude, resilience, and adaptability to deal with this ever-changing world.
Imagine what your best version looks like. Believe in yourself. Work on yourself to become the best version of yourself today.
Emerson takes pride in creating a culture of respect and acceptance. We are committed to building a space for passionate, talented, and goal-driven people, and an ecosystem where thinkers and solution providers give unconventional results through innovative ideas. This is the power of our people. This is us.
Thank you.